All right, welcome back, free radicals of all shapes, sizes, colors, denominations, orientations, educations, and even party affiliations. A couple of folks I want to thank. Christine, who supports the channel. Just incredible support of me and this channel. Very encouraging. Sent out a financial Christmas gift a couple days ago, and I'm very grateful for that. Also, my friend Justin, who is part of the Green Party, sent me this t-shirt that I'm wearing, and I told him I would wear it because I'm a true rebel and true radical, and I want to be, I guess, maybe branded as a Russian agent. I don't know, but it's Christmas, so green goes good with Christmas, and even though I don't agree with every platform in the party, I do believe in the peace platform, which is, to me, the most important platform, because as Tulsi Gabbard likes to say, if we can get the war machine under control, we can focus on domestic issues and bring that money back home. It's pretty simple. So former Hawaii governor calls on Tulsi Gabbard to resign. All right, I'm going to skim this article because it's incredible. So Politico has now become sort of the hit piece arm of the Democratic Party, at least when it comes to Tulsi Gabbard. Because I've read so many articles in Politico. And of course, they take a real flattering picture again of Tulsi. Good. So check. We want to make her the beautiful, the most attractive presidential candidate running. We want to find a way to make her not look good. Funny, the guy who took the picture, his name is Drew Angerer. Isn't that, sometimes you can't make this stuff up. Drew Angerer. I want to get her to look Angerer. Okay, Drew. Good work, buddy. Wow. It's nuts. It's you couldn't make this stuff up. So here's the gist of this. Neil Abercrombie, who hasn't served as governor since 2014, who's the co-chair of the person who's going to run for Tulsi Gabbard's seat, is asking Tulsi Gabbard to quit. And he did this by phone call. Actually called Tulsi Gabbard and said, hey, can you, here's what he says. I've left a detailed message for her as to what I was thinking. That's great, Neil. What I was doing and what I hoped she would do. And supposedly, this guy Abercrombie, no relation to Fitch, told Politico in a phone interview following his announcement, I'm sure she pays attention to her voicemail. I'm sure she hit the erase button, too, once she listened to it. This guy used to be in the House. He says he was a special election candidate, so he wants his candidate to be a special election candidate. And then, of course, he ran for governor. Trying to do my job in Washington and run for office, another office in Hawaii, was just too difficult. So please, Tulsi, stop running for president, or please just quit. See, they want to untether Tulsi Gabbard to the fact that she's in Congress and she's voting. And the present vote, let's just be honest. The way the establishment received the present vote, which, by the way, was a Christmas present vote, really emphasizes how lost the two major political parties are. That they don't understand that she's trying to protect the country. She's trying to not polarize the country more. The Democrats, all they've done this holiday season is polarized. They're going to make a lot of Christmas dinners very crazy. I mean, the stress that a lot of people are feeling because, you got this president who's now in limbo. Send it to you got your impeachment now. Send it over to the Senate so they can do what they're going to do, which is they're not going to find him. I believe there are even Democrats over there in the Senate who are saying, nope, not going to do it. So this just shows you how unpopular this move has been. But yet, again, the deep state within the Democratic Party, rather than moving forward with ideas, and none of this has anything to do with policy. See, this is why I think we need the third way. It's why I'm wearing the shirt today. That, in fact, I think it's festive for Christmas, but folks, we're running out of options. And I know I'm a fringe person. The fact that I'm not going to sit here and put up with two lousy political parties anymore. And I have. I've been both. I've been a Democrat. I've been a Republican. I'm done. I'm done. I'm just, after this primary season, after I vote for Tulsi, it's either independent, green, or unaffiliated, unenrolled, whatever it's going to be. Anyway, he's talking about how he thought he could do all this stuff, but he can't. And he's setting this example that Tulsi Gabbard needs to follow. And it's just goofy. It's almost like, hey, she just can't do what she's doing. By the way, if you look at the voting record of Tulsi and the other candidates running for office who are in the Senate, for instance, she's voting more than they are. I mean, some of these senators never vote. It's really embarrassing. Even Bernie Sanders. Of course, Bernie, he's got a very busy campaign, infrastructure, running all over the place. How can he get back to Washington? But guess what? Tulsi Gabbard has managed to do it. She lives in Hawaii. She's been campaigning in places like New Hampshire and Iowa, but yet she's voted more than all these other people. But they won't mention that in this article, of course. And it's so funny that this guy is managing the campaign of this dude who, I think it's a dude, Kai. I don't know if it's a woman or I just don't know who it is, but because I haven't looked into it. Anyway, Abercrombie is like the co-chair of this person's campaign. Yeah, how convenient. Please resign, Tulsi Gabbard. So this is, again, part of... And then they go on to talk about the new mail-in ballot system that makes it easy to hold a special election in Hawaii. Like, hey, this can just happen like tomorrow, This sounds to me like the whole Trump thing. You know why it sounds like the Trump thing? Because it's like, okay, you're running for president. You say you voted present, and now we're going to come after you for doing that. Now we're going to make your life miserable. And who in their right mind who knows Tulsi Gabbard even just a little bit would think that she would just quit? She's not going to quit. It's just, this is all PR. This is Politico. This is the deep state of the Democratic Party, and this sets up every interview on cable news now that Tulsi Gabbard gets, if she can get one these days. So, we hear that the former governor of Hawaii wants you to resign, and then Gabbard has to spend time on that question rather than talking about real issues, especially when it comes to foreign policy. Because, I'll tell you, I talk to people across the political spectrum, on the right, on the left, everywhere, and they are tired of the fact that we just spend billions on war and we continue to escalate the war budget, and cities continue to be gentrified, and cities continue to fall apart in many areas, and the homeless population continues to explode all around the country. At this time of year, people are even more desperate. Half these people don't even know it's Christmas. So, and it's tragic that, as Bernie would say, and again, I've not been happy with Bernie lately, but in the richest country on the face of planet Earth, we continue to spend a good chunk. And you can see where your priorities are. Look at the budget. You'll know your priorities with what the budget looks like. And everybody knows that the military has got the biggest slice of this pie. And it keeps growing. But they don't want you to talk about that. So this article goes on and on. He goes on to say he thought it would be difficult for Gabbard to rep. And why wasn't this talked about, say, back in June? Right? Back in May, back in April. It'd be difficult for her to campaign. Well, she's been doing it. Abercrombie noted that she has rented a home in New Hampshire and missed more than 85% of votes since October, despite voting present on Donald Trump's impeachment last week. So, yes, they had to put that in there. 85% of votes since October. See how they manipulate that? Go back through the entire year. Again, you can manipulate statistics to make it look like she's completely not doing her job. Then she didn't vote on the budget for next year. I thought, that's it. You mean the vote, it's not a budget for next year, it's probably continuing, it's a CR. because that's all they do. They don't balance the budget, they do CRs. And her not voting on the CR, she knows probably the CR is going to pass because these people won't sit down and actually hammer out a budget. That would take work, and it would take, it would show people how much money we're spending on what in such a big catastrophic way that it would do in the entire Congress and the presidency. And that's why, again, you're seeing continuing resolutions all the time. So the bottom line for me is simple. I believe that the only really honorable thing and sensible thing to do and politically forthright thing to do is resign the seat. Well, wait a minute. She told everybody she wasn't running for re-election. I think that was honorable and decent and good. And now you're just, again, it's like a phone call from Hillary Clinton or, Debbie Wasserman Schultz or whoever it was. Say, hey, Abercrombie, put some pressure on Gabbard. Get this out to the news. Politico will cover this. So, if you didn't think there could be more negativity and smearing and sort of just this, again, mindless, like the video I did, mindless obsession with Tulsi Gabbard, you were wrong. You were wrong. And going into Christmas, what they want Tulsi Gabbard to do is to resign. That's what they want her to do. Please go away. Well, she can continue to run for president. She just needs to resign her seat so we can hurry up and fill it with a neo-liberal who will vote for all of these bloated military budgets and who won't really care because Hawaii, of course, has a ton of military bases, or one big one or whatever. It's an outpost, and the military's got a huge presence there, and the pressure is starting to be greater because they know the military drives a lot of the economy other than tourism on Hawaii. Or it's part of the tourism economy, for crying out loud. People will go there just to look at war memorials and, Pearl Harbor and all that stuff. And it's crazy. It's crazy. They do that and they sacrifice, like, actual lives. People who are going to either die in combat or in other countries, and we're going to continue to do the war-based economy. That's why I used to think this whole Green New Deal thing was a little crazy and a little far-fetched, but it's even if it's a government works project, it's better than sending young men and women into combat, right? They can build stuff, they can rebuild infrastructure, they can build, sustainable living conditions for people, they can clean up these cities that are gentrified and actually turn the bad neighborhoods into good neighborhoods and keep the people who live there. They don't have to turn the people out. It's just really sad where we are right now. And so much for peace on earth and goodwill toward men, right? Just crazy. It's Christmas and this is what they want Tulsi Gabbard to do. They want her to quit. She's not quitting. There's no way she's quitting. That's not in her nature. That's not her. That's not her spirit. And I just feel bad for a lot of people who look at her as a problem for this party, which this party is going to implode. If they lose this upcoming election, especially if they send a neoliberal up and they lose the election, the Democratic Party is done. It's done. Plus, if they put a neoliberal up against Donald Trump, which this is their goal, it's probably going to be Biden, people. People like myself are going to say, you know what? My vote isn't going to matter anyway. So it's time to build a movement. It's time to look for a third choice. And I will be going there. I wouldn't be wearing this shirt if I wasn't serious about it. So there you are. Tulsi Gabbard. This is what they want. They want her just to go away. Oh yeah, you can keep campaigning, but resign, because you're missing votes. Really? Since October? Okay, well, let's just take a look at the big picture, and you'll see that she's been voting more consistently than a lot of other presidential candidates. And I'm sure she's choosing the votes that matter the most, not the votes that are kind of predetermined by all of the neoliberals. Maybe these votes have to do with impeachment and so forth. Don't know, other than the present vote. But I do know that she did decide to censure the president and actually call out the real high crimes and misdemeanors nobody in the media picked up on that except for like Mint Press News. I think they were the only ones to actually notice that if they had looked at her censure, it was far more impactful and powerful and realistic than some phone call to Ukraine, which is not a... So what if you hold back military aid and weaponry to Ukraine to get them to do something? Isn't that called a sanction? Don't we do sanctions all the time? Oh, because they're going to provide information about Hunter Biden, who's living large somewhere in California. How's he doing that? I mean, the articles I read make the whole Biden thing look so much more corrupt than anything Trump did on a phone call. And that's not the story. So, we're living in the Twilight Zone. We are living in the Twilight Zone. And I don't know how to get out of it. So that's where my frustration is for this Christmas. And I don't know how you feel about it. But, I'll support Tulsi Gabbard till the end. And then I will walk away from this system. And I will try to build another system with other like-minded people who understand that this system is corrupt to the core. And it is rigged. And it is predetermined. And to break through, you have to go around it. You can't go through it. You've got to go around it. So, all right. And I've said that 100 times already in other videos. So, I'm done for now. If I don't do a video in the next couple of days, I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever it is that you celebrate or don't celebrate. If you're just taking some time off to enjoy life, then good for you. That's what you should do. Do it with family, friends, and people that you care about. All right. I'll be back soon. And don't forget to support me if you can over on Patreon. I accept Christmas gifts, even belated ones. And I can also put my email in via PayPal. Again, I want to thank Christine and Justin, especially in the last couple of days. It's been great to have friends that support this channel financially, and keeps me going too, because as you can see, news stories like this can be demoralizing. They really can be. All right, see you soon.